Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our weekly press briefing. Let me begin by strongly condemning the heinous terrorist attack on civilian areas carried out by the Houthis in Abu Dhabi on 17th of January that claimed several lives, including one Pakistani national. The mortal remains of Mr. Mumur Khan were repatriated to Pakistan yesterday with dignity and were received at Bacha Khan International Airport by senior OPF officials. We offer our condolences to the families of the victims and wish speedy recovery to the injured. Prime Minister Imran Khan had a telephonic conversation with His Highness Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. Foreign Minister Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi also received a telephone call from his Emirati counterpart. Both the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister strongly condemned the terrorist attack and expressed solidarity with the brotherly people and government of the UAE in the face of this wanton act of terrorism. They called for the immediate cessation of these attacks and underlined that such attacks not only violate the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the UAE, but also pose a grave threat to regional peace and security. Let us undertake a quick roundup of diplomatic activities during the week. As you would have followed, Pakistan assumed chairmanship of the Group of 77 and China for the year 2022. Foreign Minister Qureshi presided over the proceedings of the opening segment of the handover ceremony held in a virtual format on 14th of January, which was also attended by the outgoing chair, the Foreign Minister of Republic of Guinea, the UN Secretary General, and the President of the UN General Assembly. Prime Minister Imran Khan held a telephonic conversation with President Vladimir Putin on 16th of January. Prime Minister Imran Khan appreciated the Russian leader's statements regarding respect for Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, enhancement of bilateral cooperation in different areas, including economy, trade, and energy, high-level exchanges, besides regional and international issues, also came up for discussion in this important interaction. The newly elected Foreign Minister of Canada, M.S. Joly, called the Foreign Minister on 13th of January. Congratulating his counterpart, the Foreign Minister looked forward to further strengthening of bilateral ties, especially in the domain of economy. Developments in the region also came under discussion. Foreign Minister Qureshi also held a telephonic conversation with the Foreign Minister of Indonesia, Her Excellency Retno Marsudi, on 19th of January, expressing satisfaction at the deep-rooted and fraternal relations between the two countries. The Foreign Minister underscored Pakistan's strong desire to further intensify these multidimensional ties across the entire spectrum. Foreign Minister Qureshi received Chief of Staff of Land Forces, Lieutenant General Asinda Fall, of the Democratic Republic of Congo on 14th January. Foreign Minister highlighted Pakistan's Engage Africa policy aimed at enhancing diplomatic footprint and intensifying exchanges and trade with Africa in line with their focus on geoeconomics. The Foreign Minister also had telephonic conversation with Her Excellency Ms. Suzy Carla Barbosa, the Foreign Minister of Guinea-Bissau, on 18th of January. Both sides agreed to further strengthening of bilateral and regional cooperation. Over the past weeks, I am pleased to note that friends in the media have been following the developments related to CPEC. I would like to share a roundup of major activities in CPEC, which has continued to move forward as a flagship of the Belt and Road despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Starting from the first visit of the Prime Minister to China in November 2018, CPEC has focused increasingly on socio-economic development projects geared towards directly improving the well-being of our people. 27 projects have been conceived and are under various stages of implementation and preparation. We have also expanded CPEC's ambit by including agriculture, science, technology, and IT cooperation. Meanwhile, work on major infrastructure projects has continued apace, and a number of new mega projects have been endorsed by the GCC of CPEC. These include the Azad Patan and Kohala hydropower projects, which will help address Pakistan's food security while also ensuring access to green and cost-competitive energy for our industrial growth. These are just a few of the headline developments in CPEC. We look forward to sharing more updates in due course. We appreciate your interest in presenting the true picture of CPEC's progress for the benefit of our people and to relegate some misguided efforts to deliberately spread disinformation about this signature achievement of Pakistan and China. We have also been receiving queries from the media on the status of Indian wheat assistance for Afghanistan, the transportation of which, as you would recall, Pakistan has allowed on humanitarian grounds on exceptional basis. We have conveyed to the Indian side necessary details of arrangements put in place by Pakistan, and for about 3 weeks now we are awaiting further response from India regarding the date of dispatch and other information of the first consignment. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Kashmiris in IIOJK and around the world, joined by Pakistanis and others, are marking the grim anniversary of the Gauka Dal massacre. On 21st January 1990, Indian occupation forces had brutally martyred at least 52 innocent, peaceful protesters in Srinagar for demanding freedom from Indian oppression. Pakistan stands in solidarity with the victims of this unspeakable crime and reiterates the call for bringing the perpetrators to justice. It is appalling, as it is condemnable, that even after more than 3 decades, there is no accountability for this cold-blooded killing. This travesty of justice is basically a stark reminder of the culture of impunity and rule of no law that is deeply entrenched and continues to fester in IIOJK, in which the oppressed are punished and persecuted, while the perpetrators are encouraged and protected. For more than 7 decades, Kashmiris are the victims of India's state-sponsored terrorism, including gross and systematic violations of human rights and international humanitarian law, which have further intensified under the BJP-RSS Combines Hindu Rashtra project, under which sinister anti-Kashmiri policies are also being pursued to change the demographic composition of the occupied territory. Pakistan condemns the increasing harassment, illegal arrests, and registration of fake criminal cases against journalists and civil society activists in IIOJK. The attack and ban on Kashmir Plus Club manifestly reflects India's entrenched use of brute force and coercion to forcibly silence all those who are raising voices against India's horrendous crimes and genocidal acts in IIOJK. It is encouraging that the international community is increasingly realizing the gravity of the situation in IIOJK, towards which Pakistan has been drawing attention all these years. You would have followed, for example, the Russell Tribunal on Kashmir held in Sarajevo last month, and the filing earlier this week of an application by a London-based law firm with the British police seeking arrest of Indian officials over their alleged role in war crimes in IIOJK. Reportedly, the law firm has submitted a report based on over 2,000 testimonials taken between 2020 and 2021, providing extensive evidence to the Metropolitan Police's War Crimes Unit, documenting how Indian military and civil leadership were responsible for the torture, kidnapping, and killing of activists, journalists, and civilians. It is self evident that India can no longer escape international and legal censure for its rampant human rights violations in IIOJK. And we call upon the international community, particularly the United Nations and international human rights and humanitarian organizations, to hold India accountable. Let India also be reminded that its reign of terror and oppression can never weaken the resolve of the Kashmiris for the right to self determination. Pakistan will continue to extend all possible support to our valiant brothers and sisters in Kashmir for the rightful pursuit of their legitimate struggle. I thank you and I'm ready to take your questions. Yes, sir.